this video, I'm going to be talking about the Dungeoneering and shop updates that just performed this week. The biggest of this update, of course, is the Dungeoneering update. Pretty much what they did here was added a Toolbelt to Dungeoneering, similar to the one that's outside of Dungeoneering. The only difference is this one's already automatically filled with all your major tools needed for Dungeoneering, with the exception of feathers like you used to get from the toolkit. You'll still need to buy feathers if you're into fishing or anything else that needs feathers in there. The hatchets and pickaxes, they start at the Novite level, and you're able to add higher tier pickaxes and hatchets to them, and they will be permanently binded. So in theory, pretty much you could actually have primal pickaxe and a primal hatchet if you really wanted that. I don't really see why it's needed because the Novite ones are doing pretty good for me normally for what little bit I ever use them. But yeah, that's a pretty good update that saves some inventory space. The second part of the update is the way keys are handled in the dungeon. Used to, they were mainly kept up to one person, the keyer, and they would, pick up the keys and key for the whole party. But now keys are shared between the entire party and can be used by anyone in the party once somebody's picked it up. So pretty much anybody can be a keyer now. Yeah, all you gotta do is pick up the key and it'll give you a notification in the window saying that your party now owns this key, and if you have that door gated, you can go, I guess, gate to it and open it yourself, even because it'll be part of the tool belt. I don't like the fact that it takes a couple of clicks to be able to get to the key interface, but maybe they'll update that at some point in time. And the last part of the Dungeoneering update is the raw materials are now stackable, so like when you're cutting logs or fishing for raw fish or gathering ores in dungeons, they actually stack in your inventory. It is worth noting that once you cook raw fish or smelt bars, that those don't stack, but the raw versions of them do. And yeah, that's pretty much all for the Dungeoneering update. The next part of the update that I wanted to talk about is the shop user interface update. They changed the graphics of it to be more in line with the other interfaces you can find in the game now. They have two tabs now, a buy item and a sell item. You can change the way the items are displayed in the shop by clicking the item display mode, where it'll display their full name and the picture, or just a picture like we're used to now. In the bottom right corner, you'll see a transaction section where you can buy the minimum amount, take 5 off your current amount, take 1 off, add 5, or buy the maximum amount. That's very similar to the old version of the GE where you could, buy for min and max and stuff like that. So that it works the exact same way. You can also right click the picture on the buy tab and select to buy all, which is a neat little feature if you ever use in-game shops for anything. The sell tab will only show items that you have in your inventory that you can sell to whatever shop that you're at. You can still right click and sell them from the inventory, or you can sell it straight through the sell tab in the shop. And when you do, it'll show up in the buy tab just like all shops did before. The only other part of the shop update that's worth mentioning is the shops now have standardized prices, which means that if you buy a certain item from the store, the price won't increase based on how much the store has in stock. So that's a pretty neat little update there. This is a little small part of the update, but they have it so where the game tab at the bottom of the screen, if you have that set to all, whenever your special bar recharges to 50% or to 100%, it will show you a message there saying that your special bar is recharged to ever how much it is. They also updated the special attack button so that it no longer appears to be turned off when it's selected and the bar recharges. So, yeah, that's a pretty neat little thing. A little small update, but yeah, it's worth it. The other part of the update wasn't actually specifically mentioned anywhere that I don't believe. but it's in regards to flipping items on the GE. Um, yeah, used to, well, it's pretty much back to the way it once was when the GE still had minimum and maximum sell limits, but basically selling items back to the GE will no longer add to your buy limit. So if you were buying whips, I think you can buy like 10 or at a time or so, and you bought 5, your limit then was 5. You could only buy 5 more. But if you sold back those 5, it would increase your limit back to 10. That no longer takes place, so you can only buy 10 whips now per every 4 hours and sell 10 back, and that's pretty much all you're allowed for 4 hours. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that's gonna play in everything. There's also a bunch of random minor updates in some places, like for instance the Chaos Tunnels and other places around for quests. They fix bloom issues so the screen doesn't pretty much blind you now when you walk in there. Unfortunately, fish bowls are still extremely bright. Um, the degradation percentage for Dominion Tower gloves and the Penance horn are now actually they're shown in a percentage now, besides of either slightly degraded or ever how they used to be. Dark beasts now do drop big bones, which kind of makes sense since they're freaking huge. Um, let's see. Now crafting battle staffs, fishing rocktail in the living rock caverns, and using spinning wheels can now give you shattered heart strange rocks. That's a minor update, but still. Let's see. They now show a message for when experience is gained in the 10th skill after the activation of the Jack of Trades. So, yeah, at least you get a notification for that now. And yeah, also this is nothing too big, but the Barrows and Ancient Armor now has a repair all option when trying to repair multiple pieces of the equipment in your house or in Lumbridge or wherever you repair it. Um, so yeah, that's a pretty good update. They also have a lot of little minor patch notes and bug fixes and stuff. I provided the patch notes in the description of this video, so for the rest of the updates, you can follow that quick find code and go check those out. As always, everyone, thanks for watching and enjoy the update.